ISO 37001 2025 Documentation and Consultancy Anti-Bribery Management System. Hello everyone, welcome to this informative session on ISO 37001 2025 Anti-Bribery Management System Documentation and Consultancy. In today's video, we will discuss what ISO 37001 is and why it is important for organizations and how companies can implement this international standard effectively. This session will be helpful for business owners and company directors, compliance officers, quality and risk management professionals, consultants and auditors, organizations planning ISO certification. Let us begin with the basics. ISO 37001 is an international standard for anti-bribery management systems, commonly referred to as ABMS. This standard was developed by the International Organization for Standardization to help organizations prevent, detect, and address bribery risks. Bribery is one of the most common forms of corruption worldwide. It can occur in both public and private sectors, and it can damage an organization's reputation, finances, and legal standing. ISO 37001 provides a structured framework that organizations can follow to establish policies, procedures, and controls to combat bribery. The standard can be implemented by organizations of any size or industry, including construction companies, manufacturing organizations, engineering firms, government contractors, financial institutions, service organizations. Why ISO 37001 is important? In today's business environment, ethical practices and transparency are extremely important. Many organizations operate across international markets where anti-corruption regulations are strictly enforced. Implementing ISO 37001 helps organizations first establish strong anti-bribery policies, second promote ethical business culture, third reduce corruption risks, fourth demonstrate commitment to compliance, fifth protect company reputation. Organizations with ISO 37001 certification often gain greater trust from clients, investors, and regulators. What is bribery? Before discussing the standard further, it is important to understand what bribery means. Bribery refers to offering, giving, receiving, or soliciting something of value to influence a decision or action properly. Examples include paying money to secure a contract, offering gifts or favors to obtain unfair advantages, providing commissions or kickbacks, influencing public officials legally. ISO 37001 aims to prevent such unethical practices through structured management controls. Structure of ISO 37001. Let us see this. ISO 37001 follows the high-level structure used in many standards. This structure makes it easier for organizations that already have systems such as ISO 9001 quality management, ISO 14001 environmental management, ISO 45001 Occupational Health and Safety. The major clauses include context of the organization, leadership, planning, support, operation, performance evaluation, improvement. Let us briefly understand each of these sections. Context of the organization. Organizations must first understand their internal and external environment. This includes identifying legal requirements, industry risks, stakeholder expectations, business activities vulnerable to bribery. Companies must also identify bribery risks associated with their operations. This process is known as risk assessment. Then next is leadership and commitment. Top management plays a critical role in the success of anti-bribery management system. Leadership may demonstrate commitment by establishing an anti-bribery policy, promoting ethical business practices, providing resources for implementation, ensuring accountability across the organization. A responsible person or department is usually appointed as the anti-bribery compliance function. Anti-bribery policy. The anti-bribery policy is one of the most important documents in ISO 37001. This policy clearly states that the organization prohibits bribery in all forms, complies with legal requirements, promotes ethical behavior. The policy must be communicated to employees, business partners, and stakeholders. Risk assessment. This is essential for identifying areas where bribery could occur. Organizations analyze risks related to business transaction, third-party relationships, procurement activities, government interactions, high-risk geographical regions. Based on this analysis, companies develop risk mitigation strategies. Due diligence. ISO 37001 requires organizations to perform due diligence on business partners and third parties. This includes evaluating supplier, contractors, agents, consultants, joint venture partners. Due diligence helps organizations ensure that their partners also follow ethical and anti-corruption practices. The next is financial and non-financial controls. Organizations must establish controls to prevent bribery. Financial controls may include approval procedures, expense monitoring, payment verification. Non-financial controls include procurement procedures, contract approval processes, monitoring of third-party relationships. These controls reduce opportunities for unethical practices. The next is training and awareness. Employee awareness is extremely important. Organizations must provide training programs on anti-bribery policies and ethical conduct. Training may include identifying bribery risks, reporting suspicious activities, understanding company policies. When employees understand the importance of compliance, they are more likely to act ethically and responsibly. Now, reporting mechanisms. ISO 37001 encourages organizations to establish confidential reporting system. Employees and stakeholders should be able to report suspected bribery without fear of retaliation. This may include whistleblower mechanisms, anonymous reporting channels, ethics hotlines. Such systems encourage transparency. The next is internal audit. Internal audits help organizations verify that the anti-bribery management system is functioning effectively. Audit checks compliance with policies, implementation of procedures, effectiveness of controls. Internal audits are usually conducted periodically to identify improvement opportunities. Management review. Top management must periodically review the system. The review typically covers audit results, risk assessments, compliance performance, improvement actions. The next is document. This ensures the system remains effective and continuously improving. The next is documentation required for ISO 37001. Proper documentation is essential. Key documents include anti-bribery policy, risk assessment reports, due diligence procedures, financial control procedures, internal audit procedures, training records, corrective action reports. Documentation provides evidence that the organization follows the required practices. The next is certification process. The ISO 37001 certification process usually involves several steps. First, gap analysis, documentation preparation, implementation of policies and procedures, staff training, internal audit, management review, certification audit by accredited body. Once the organization passes the audit, it receives ISO 37001 certification. Now, what are the benefits of this certification? Let us see this. See, implementing ISO 37001 provides several advantages. What are these? Strong anti-corruption framework, improved corporate governance, increased stakeholder trust, reduced legal risks, improved reputation and credibility. Organizations that adopt ethical practices often perform better in the long term. Now, how can we support for implementation of this standard and consultancy? So, implementing ISO 37001 can sometimes be complex. Professional consultancy services help organizations like URGS International. We prepare documentation, we conduct risk assessments, we train employees, we implement procedures, we prepare for certification audits. So, consultants guide organizations throughout the entire implementation process. So, URGS provides the guide the organizations throughout this implementation process. Okay, organizations may contact us for the implementation and consultancy for this standard. Now, what are the services provided by URGS International? We provide ISO 37001 documentation and consultancy services to organizations planning to implement anti-bribery management systems. What other services include ISO 37001 documentation preparation, policy and procedure development, risk assessment support, internal audit assistance, staff training, certification guidance. Our goal is to help organizations build strong, transparent, and ethical management systems. Now, at last conclusion, ISO 37001 is an important international standard that helps organizations prevent bribery and promote ethical business practices. By implementing structured policies, risk management processes, and effective controls, organizations can protect their reputation and ensure compliance with international anti-corruption requirements. With proper planning, training, and documentation, companies can successfully implement the anti-bribery management system and achieve ISO 37001 certification. So for ISO 37001 documentation and consultancy services, please contact us to our email ID info@urgsang.com. Our mobile number is +91 7359458455. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this session useful, please like, share and subscribe for more content on ISO standards, compliance systems and professional consultancy services. Thank you.